You are tuned to the Paracasual podcast. Welcome.
Well, hello and welcome to episode 71. I had to read the text there to remember of the Paracasual podcast. It's been a hot minute, shall we say. That's what the kids are saying nowadays, hot minute. And I'm here with Salliebug so far. Salliebug, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. We're hoping to
am
be
trying to
joined
figure
today by
out.
some friends. Yeah? I'm sorry?
I'm trying to figure out how to mute the live stream so
Mute
it's
the
not
live stream she
echoing.
wants to do, folks. And so it's been a while since we've done this, so levels may be a little off. Whoa, who is that?
Oh, hello, it's Greenstego.
It's Greenstego. Can you believe it? In the
Hello?
Discord. Oh,
And
and somebody
RomanceGirl.
else.
Yeah, sorry, we were just told, 11:30.
Yeah, that was Salliebug too. We decided to go a little early just to test the stream out since I hadn't used OBS in a year. So
Yeah, we
and
thought
it's
we'd go
different.
live and
updated, and
just
there's all sorts of different buttons to push. So I needed
How
to...
are things going with OBS? OBS.
Old OBS. Pretty good. So far, so good.
Is
Are
so
we
far, so
streaming?
good.
I can't even guarantee we're streaming right now, but let me introduce you guys. It's Greenstego and RomanceGirl.
Howdy.
From part of our integral fire team here on the podcast. Welcome. It's good to see your icons.
Glad to be back.
Oh, you guys both
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
terrific, by the way. Did you
Yeah, you
upgrade
sound great.
your audio somehow since last time?
No, I couldn't get any of my other headsets to work, so I'm glad this one is coming in good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
We were just
before we
talking.
got into like the serious, we were just kind of chatting about our overall feelings about
Yeah.
the announcements in the last couple of weeks, and kind of like why we ourselves as a podcast, and it's not like we didn't get on Destiny. We did over the course of this year that we've taken this break, but certainly not as much. We've all delved into other games.
Yeah, the game of life.
The
Yeah.
game of life, but also other video games pulled us away, and we did other things that way. So
No, it's been for sure like Destiny had like a heyday for sure. And then just been noticing I haven't looked at my own hours, but our other clanmate Ghost, he just recently shared his um hours spent in Destiny. And for sure it's still a lot. Um it's like 1,000 hours per year of content. But it started going down in Lightfall, and this it just like continuously went down. And the Edge of Fate here was less for him too, and he's still plugging in hundreds and hundreds of hours into this game. But for sure, something has been off in Destiny for like a little while. But
Yeah, the past couple of years, but more so with Edge of Fate, I think.
mhm.
Yeah, I guess now's as good a time to segue into something I've been thinking about, and actually curious about everybody else's thoughts on this. Is what went wrong? Like, what there was a marked exodus from the game after Final Shape, and I think people point to different things in the game and externally. people like feeling like the final shape was the
Yeah,
end of the 10-year saga and they were ready to move on anyway. So because Edge of Fate in itself, while I think it had a lot of structural issues that caused the existing players, people who bought it, to sort of taper off. Unfortunately, it didn't sell. It didn't sell like it. Nobody showed up for it, to at least try it like they did Final Shape. So I think there's
yeah,
It
I think
needed,
it had a lot to do with the final shape launching, and the marketing being around it being a culmination of Destiny and Destiny 2. So and there was no announcement of what was going to come after. There was just kind of this, vague, we'll keep you posted. So in prior years, we knew there was just going to always be another annual expansion. But the year of the final shape, there was no announcement of another expansion.
right.
So I think that a lot of the players, especially casual players who aren't keeping up with every little Bungie update, were just like, "Oh, this is the finale. This is the end."
Yeah, and
They
I
weren't
think
going
I
to
think
like
you were
tune
right.
back in and be like, "Oh, well, has Bungie said anything yet?" Like they're not going to come back and check in to see if anything's been announced. That just nothing was announced. So they thought. I think it was just the way it was marketed.
Hmm.
yeah, it
Because
was a
they
clear
did the
break.
whole like we've got 3 years planned, um, which was epic. That was a legendary moment when they said like we have a big picture and we're ready to show you the next 3 years. Um, Beyond Light is coming, and then Witch Queen, and then Lightfall, um, and then they eventually added on.
No, it was
When
Witch Queen Lightfall Final Shape, right? Or no?
they no, because the graphic for Lightfall was the Traveler with
Oh,
Mirror
We
right.
in
thought
front of
that
it
we
at
thought the
first.
Lightfall was going to be it. That was like the final
Yeah.
shape, right?
Yeah, which it seems
Yeah,
like it kind of did one of those things where it was too big, and then the director decided to split it into 2 movies or something. I don't know. I don't know
Yes.
yeah.
exactly.
Or they needed
Yeah.
more
Something
time for
happened
final
internally
shape.
there.
Um,
Yeah. So they decided to do a spin-off for
yeah.
Lightfall.
But
Yeah.
then there's also this other thing that's been happening with Destiny, which is the whole the onboarding is terrible.
Yeah.
Um,
New
and a
player.
big part of that is it's just
Hmm.
so overwhelming to play. The
It's
UI does
overwhelming
not.
and underwhelming at the same time, though, because there's
Yeah.
not, for the new player, there's not that like story lead in that we got as veteran players to the world of Destiny. They just kind of give you the short Shahan quick cut version, and then you're on your own, basically.
And that's exactly, I think you hit the nail on the head, Romance Girl, and that, it's just, if you're a new player getting onto Destiny 2, like the storyline, even if you never played Destiny 1, the storyline was Red War, and then and then you did the Forsaken. Um, and there were other, like, shorter offshoot episodes, but you could play all of that, and that got you to kind of buy into why we're doing what we're doing, right? There
Hmm.
needed to be kind of like this why, and to like have all of that say, okay, well, that's too much. What do they call it? Tech bloat or whatever they call it.
Mhm.
Um,
Tech debt.
it's overloading. Tech what?
Debt.
Tech debt.
That.
Yes. So that tech debt was causing the game to not perform. So we need to do something. And why they decided to like get rid of the main storyline so that the it's almost like they were just saying, you know what, we're only going to make sure that we can keep our current player base, and we're not going to worry about bringing others in.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's actually what they were thinking, but it's kind of feels like that's what they were thinking.
It does seem to, yeah.
If
And it does seem to coincide with their eventual plan to just kind of siphon resources away from Destiny in general.
if I
Right.
may put on a spin foil hat,
Go
I,
for
I
it.
think we need like a soundboard for this. It's a
Yeah.
spin
Help
foil
yourself to the
a hat
soundboard, by the way.
segment. Um, but I was thinking of this the other day, and if I said something in a rant, there it is. That is exactly
That's the one you wanted, right?
yes. Now the visual is complete.
Doesn't sound like a spin foil hat sound at
Yeah.
all, but go ahead.
Go ahead. So I kind of suspect, and maybe I'm off base here, but there was something with like all of that. The Red War and Forsaken was made with Activision.
Oh yeah, I brought this up earlier. I said that this was a wild speculation. Like this is full spin
No, I
foil
want to hear
hat.
this. I'm intrigued. Salliebug, you came up with something like this the other day, but I want to hear this. Go for it.
Um, and so I don't know if it's like just bitterness or if there was still something like, well, we still kind of own some of this, and so if people are buying Destiny 2 and um
Playing the Activision stuff.
and playing the Activision stuff that like Vicarious Visions helped with the cutscenes for Red War or whatever,
And
and like
Forsaken too
and
had
Forsaken,
contracted
Yeah.
studios.
because
Yeah.
there were some cutscenes there those like it was big content.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was big, it was beautiful, there were gorgeous cutscenes, there was a bunch of them, and we don't get as many of those cutscenes these days because Activision was putting in a lot of help to the studio. They were pumping a lot of money into this
Lots of money,
project.
yes. They
Um,
certainly were.
and so if there was like a portion of the deal that was like, well, we still own like Activision saying like, Activision still owns Destiny 1 and we bought Destiny 2 back from them, but we have like shared custody for a little bit, but not if we sunset all the parts that they helped make. So now it's just us. Now it's
It's
just
an
ours.
interesting theory.
I also
I
kind of think here's another spin foil. And this isn't 100% mine. I've read this online, but the timing kind of works out to they started production on Marathon around the time that they split from Activision.
Mm.
So maybe they tried pitching Marathon to Activision, where Activision was like, "All right, tell us what's next for
That's
Bungie.
right.
What's
I
the next
forgot
big?"
how long it's been in production. Jeez, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they started
It's
in like
just
2019, 2020, and that means that it was cooking a little bit before that, like, 2019, and that's when they split from Activision. So it seems kind of like that was one of the major um, bullet points in their breakup, where
I mean,
Bungie was like,
it,
we really want to go multi IP. And Activision was like, we need you focused on the big picture, and the big picture is Destiny. What are you doing?
I mean,
we'll never know,
it's
will we?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, we
I mean,
will
speculation.
know
well,
one day.
unless somebody comes out and says something. But the interesting thing is, well, it's not necessarily interesting, but it's just Bungie has had this cycle for it since its existence. It's you know under the umbrella of another company, they go full independent and they falter, and then they
They
go
run
under
out of
the
money.
umbrella of another country, and then they
Yeah,
falter, and
when
then
I
they
was in
go
the
under
throes
the
of being
umbrella.
mad at Bungie, I said they keep running back to mommy.
Yeah, it's
But,
just
they really do.
it's
They're
just
like, we can do it on our own. Okay, never mind. We need help.
we can do this, right? Like, and it's just like every single time, and it just you feel like it's just like at what point do you realize you're better off when you have someone else, kind of like helping you with the business end of things
Financing
so
it.
that you don't run it down into the ground, because I think
I
that's what
brought this up
happens.
a multiple of times too. I don't think Bungie is good at business.
No,
I don't
it's
think
just like
they've never been good at business.
they keep wanting to make their own decisions, and then they make their own decisions that end up like basically almost bankrupting the
Tanking the
company.
studio, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I
And then they just
and on
fail upwards, basically, historically.
so now
Hold
here
on a
we are.
second. Hey, Salliebug, can I just cut in here? And does anybody recognize another fire team member? Icon has appeared.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Richard. Richard, can you hear me?
Richard.
Yep.
Oh, he's here.
There he
There
is.
he is.
Yep. For a minute, I thought his audio was off, but hey, it's good to hear from you, Richard. I'm glad you joined us. We are just pontificating and otherwise surmising what went wrong. That's kind
Or
of
where it'd be interesting to know your perspective, because we haven't really talked much about it with you.
what went
We talked a
wrong with the
little bit
game.
about it with your
I don't know. Looking by all the content coming, I was thinking, I was like, this content would have literally saved Destiny for a bit if they didn't announce it was gonna,
I agree.
stop
Absolutely.
it.
Everyone agrees on that. I think we can all agree.
They bring SRL
that.
at the end of the game. I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
Exactly.
Well, so I mean, it's. I feel like they could have been more successful if they had figured out a way for there to be a cleaner break the from the final
Final
shape
shape, yeah.
to the edge of fate being like this new, almost like we're going to stick with this Destiny world, but it's really not the same Destiny world. There needed to be a cleaner break between the two, so it didn't feel like, because Sooltime, you and I have talked about this, so it didn't feel like, hey, they've basically cut off so much of the rest of the game. But maybe that was their intention, and if that was their intention, it should have been kind of like said, it's like, okay, that we're on a completely different path here. Like,
I don't think it was
yes,
intentional is the
it's like,
problem.
Yeah.
I don't think
I think
it
they
was
were backed into a corner one way or
I
another.
don't think it was intentional either, but I feel like that's where it could have been successful.
Well, hold
The
on a
Edge of
second.
Fate could have been successful.
Yes, I think they should have, for example, done a vault wipe or something after Final Shape.
Yeah, like almost similar to what we went through when we went from D1 to
D1
D2.
to D2.
Yeah, like do some kind of reboot.
Not that it needed
like
to be D3,
Destiny Infinity.
but it's almost like, hey, you're going to be going off on an offshoot of this Destiny universe, but this is a different path, and there may be others who stay in that.
But there would need to be a
world.
justification of why it's still Destiny 2 then, if you're doing that.
Exactly. Well, it's almost like, it's like, yes, you're still going to have to like check back in with the same Vanguard, but this is like a rogue group of Guardians who are going to go off and follow some, follow some leads or something. I don't know. I feel like the story itself needed to have that kind of like, this is new, and had a story that could stand on its own, that didn't need the Destiny 2 story, so that whole onboarding thing wouldn't have been so confusing. If that makes sense.
I haven't finished, full disclosure, we haven't finished Edge of Fate or Renegades.
Right.
You got plenty of time now.
Yeah, we did all the time in the
rest.
We want to try to catch up a little, but in the next couple of days, so that we can be more present for the big update. Right. But I would say, like, I heard only good things from Destiny veterans about the Edge of Fate story. I haven't really thought about how Edge of Fate plays in for a new player. It definitely doesn't bring on new players. It doesn't onboard new players. They didn't advertise it that way.
And I'm sorry if this is
But
spoilers because I don't know how much of Edge of Fate you've done, but like it's like
not that
the whole
much.
the whole story, like getting Ikora's backstory and all of that, only appeals to people who have been working with like
I
it
mean, I
didn't
wouldn't say that's I mean,
not
I don't, again,
not
I haven't seen it
only
yet, so I don't know. I would
yeah
say that
not
you could say that because if you jump into any video game, it kind of like a good story feels like you're jumping into the middle of a story, right? Because they already have a pre-established universe. Um, so I don't think that that has to be like, oh, you have to already care about Ikora. If it's written well enough, it doesn't matter. You could
I
just
I
care about the story that's being presented.
I
I,
think that's where it
Um,
right, like it just
I will
needed
say
to
though,
be
I'm gonna kind of do a left turn and say I don't think the storytelling was the main problem with Edge of Fate.
I agree.
oh, absolutely not.
I was gonna
I
It
think
say
that
it would have been
it's
nice.
probably stronger than its other
than
components.
some of its other iterations. But what I was going to say is that it's not necessarily the storytelling in and of itself. It's the marketing of
Yeah, I
the
would
Edge
agree with
of
that.
Fate in general of it being part of Destiny 2. Like how was it going to? And I think they had some ideas, but they just didn't land.
Well, I don't. I
Yes,
think it
we
might have
do
been.
have.
I think it might
Okay,
have been
good.
financial, and here's why.
I was gonna say,
When
yeah.
I first played Edge of Fate, it felt like Destiny 3. And I remember saying that. I was like, this is
Hmm.
Destiny 3 because they rehauled completely the loot system with the tiered loot and the armor 3.0 sort of armor set perks, and things like that. And the weapons were tiered now. And it felt like Destiny 3, but Destiny 3 Lite because in addition to, I mean, it was great. I enjoy it. I actually liked all the I liked the new armor building, armor craft. Build crafting was much better. But the problem was in doing that, they only did it for the Edge of Fate stuff. They had that damn portal, which seemed kind of cool and new at
Mm.
first, but it grew old very quickly and it disconnected players from the rest of the game. And that to me was the biggest problem was you basically soft sunset the rest of the 90% of the game. Like who's going to go into the Pale Heart anymore? Who's going to go to the Cosmodrome anymore and have some
Which
fun?
Yes,
would it
yes, yes.
which would have been fine had it been marketed as you're off on your own your
Maybe,
own path
She
now.
maybe,
really
but I
wants
So
think
to
the
be off on
portal
her
was
instead
own rogue
dumb. I think it was,
adventure.
but
Sally Bug doesn't
yeah,
care about anything. She just
I
wants to
wanna
be on a
go off
rogue
on my road.
adventure.
Well, I'm just
yeah.
trying to think, like, and I as
No, I
hindsight's
agree.
2020, but I'm just trying to say, hey, how could Edge of Fate been marketed in a way that Guardians would be really interested and want to keep going? And it's almost like saying, okay, you're in the same Destiny 2 universe, but it's two different games. You can either do the Destiny 2 game where you're just on the director and you're doing all of that, or you're on the Edge of Fate path where you're
I
going
think
off to
that's
these rogue
technologically
little
beyond what they can do.
Well,
technologically
in
that right. So
fact,
And
and
budget,
I think
yeah.
that right. And I think I don't know. It's like
Salliebug, you had a spin foil theory yesterday about because I say the two biggest problems were the portal and the soft sunsetting by making tiered weapons and armor only in the current release of Edge of Fate.
Yep.
You had a spin foil theory that the two went hand in hand. It's like, okay, we did
weren't
this all
yeah,
this
they
work
they
on the upgrade to go to tiered weapons. and
We needed the
they
spin foil.
weren't necessary that
and
I
they
just
the
said that they
portal
weren't
was a result of that. The
necessarily
portal was a
mutually
result of
exclusive.
them actually trying to steer everybody just to that content and hide the rest of the world that you just sunset. And I think the combination of the two, it was just poor decision making in retrospect. But I don't think they did it.
Richard, what are
I don't think they were
I want to
able
hear
to bring
Richard's
everything
thoughts
else.
on the portal.
It got
Richard?
boring.
Yeah.
It got
there is
boring.
to it. It's because like
Yeah.
when you want to farm for a certain piece of loot because you're trying to power grind, you had to wait for a certain day or a week, like different day
limiting.
for which one you
It was
wanted.
time gated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
and similar to, and like this is almost Romance Girl, like you've had this complaint with Bungie before, and that is you're making me play in a way I don't want to play. That's not enjoyable for me. But in order for me to get the highest tier loot, I have to like take on all of these modifications, and I have to I have to make sure I have these weapons on so that I can take care of these champions. And like it was that pigeonholing me into playing in a way that was not enjoyable for me. And they've done that in the past, but I feel like that was the portal made it even worse when, especially when it got to the point of really farming for like that higher tier gear or that specific
I don't, and I
piece.
don't know what everyone's thoughts on tiered gear is, but that completely turned me off from like the entire loot system. Basically, it felt like putting a band-aid on a broken system rather than reworking the system. Just, I see the pros of having tiered gear, but for me, it felt like I would have rather just had, if you were going to say all of my old gear was worse than the new gear, just sunset my vault, like just nuke it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
start
don't
new.
know.
I also, I'm a UI person. I do not like the UI of modern Destiny 2 at all. And the tier on the guns or like on the weapons, it's just so messy. The menu looks so messy to me.
Yeah, all
And
those stars on each little
yes,
icon
it
is
just takes
so
away
annoying.
from the overall aesthetic of the
Yeah.
game. And you guys have been going into Destiny 1, and it's just I am very nostalgic for the Destiny 1 UI and some of the
Yeah.
simplicity that we've lost over the years.
It's like I played, yeah, we've been playing some Destiny 1, and there's some certain, and then we got back on Destiny 2 yesterday, and I was saying this to Sooltime. It's like it makes you appreciate some of the Q quality of life, the QOL changes that they've made in the, like being able to go to a destination from wherever you are instead of having to go to orbit every single time you want to change where you're going type of
Mhm.
situation, right? Like that's relatively annoying, but the grind for leveling up is so refreshing. And having to do that with every piece of gear that you got, in addition to that, was like, okay, you need to really care about this weapon and want to keep it and go through that leveling of that weapon. And I thought I'm thinking that was such a great way for you to connect to the gear and really make those decisions about whether you wanted to keep it or not, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just like
And
because
I miss the niche currencies and having a reason to collect planetary materials.
Yeah,
right,
that's
like
fun
It just
I
felt
and
actually,
I
like there
just
was like it
because
was a
that's what you feed your
holistic.
weapons, right? That's what you
Yeah,
feed
because
your
it's a
yeah,
weapons.
holistic part of the game. So there is a reason to patrol because you're getting these materials that are literally making you more powerful. And there's just never
and
like a wasted moment. Even if you're just running around picking spin metal, you're not like wasting your time. I mean, you are wasting your time always, but you're not wasting your time technically because
exactly.
everything's always progressing something. And I love that in games. I love it when games have like every system feeds into the other systems.
Hmm.
So I going like trying to have them move forward and say, hey, look, if you are ever considering continuing this IP, take what was all the good things of all the worlds and try to figure out a way to.
Well,
Yeah.
you're
I would hope
segueing
that
into
definitely.
what they're
I think
doing. The update
because I
is
think
doing that.
sometimes it's like they made changes for change's sake as opposed to because it was a necessary change, right? Like it's
Or they
just like,
listen
I
to the
think that
community too much.
yeah,
and there was
they
a
did.
lot
They
of
for
just
sure
like
did.
giving out.
Reactionary. Instead of having your own vision and telling the community like, "Hey, this is what we're making. Love it or leave it." They were like, "What do you guys want? What do
Yeah.
you?" I mean, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing, but I don't think it was balanced.
No,
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna step out, but you guys keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I mean, coming from like an educator's so any like when you want to make the students feel like they have a choice, you really have to very carefully like baffle the options so that it's really more like the illusion of choice, which Bungie really was not doing. Um, they had like a clear vision, they had a clear endpoint, and if they wanted um, uh, input, they wanted the players to feel like they had influence over the design of the world, then um, ultimately those things really shouldn't have mattered. Where it's like, do you want this or this? And it really wouldn't have mattered because they were ultimately leading to one future, more or less. Um,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything they could have done different. I feel like the death knell was just soft sunsetting almost the entire game except for the DLC content.
Yeah.
In terms of
Yeah, I think
why
what they
should
could
I
have
even
done
do
different is right when Lightfall launched, they got to work on Destiny 3.
this? Mm-hmm.
And then we're not having this conversation. It's because we could wring our towels out. I don't know if that's a phrase. No, we could talk about how could they have done Edge of Fate differently to bring in more players. But at the end of the day, like maybe the refresh I think a refresh of a new game would have brought in a lot of new players. Players
mhm.
who
Right.
felt like, oh,
Rebranding.
I can't do Destiny 2. Yeah, because
Rebranding.
I'm that's too
People were
far
burnt
in.
out. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So like Richard said, they're doing this update, which kind of is like a double-edged sword. I mean, it's great that they're doing all this stuff, but it also makes it sad knowing it's the final call. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's also really frustrating because this feels like the best update in a while. Because so much of what's coming to the game is just like the actual devs at Bungie were just working on these various things that was like waiting to be packaged in something.
Yeah.
And then
oh yeah, for
um
sure.
so they were like just waiting on leadership to have permission
Mm.
put this great stuff that we're working on into the game. And now it's like all the stuff that they've been cooking.
Yeah,
Now
it is
they're
hard
just
to
having
say how
permission.
much there's been a lot of speculation on what's leadership issues, and it does seem like the majority of Bungie's problems do come from frustratingly a leadership problem
Um.
and maybe just a resource management problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
indecisive.
combined with it, I mean, it is a reality that the reports of the cost to make these types of games has really gone up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, and I would say this is going to be maybe an unpopular opinion, but I don't think they monetized Destiny 2 as well as they could have. If you
yeah.
weren't onboarding new players, you could have done a much better job of milking money out of your very dedicated core base.
I agree
For
with you.
example,
I agree with you from the standpoint that there's games that are free to play that are successful. Just from
yes.
carefully
No,
thought out
I think that, no,
monetization,
I
right?
think that's why I said it's not very popular opinion, but I do think, for example, just like the battle pass being tied to a season instead of tied to monthly. There could have been a monthly battle pass where it gave you rewards that like were mostly resources, for example, and those resources could have been more appealing if the overall economy was doing better in game.
Right.
And I think a monthly battle pass not tied to the story, just something giving an option for players to wanted to support the game, would have just literally, because having only the option to pay $10 every four times a year rather than 12 times a year, like that's a big difference.
Yeah.
And most other games have a monthly battle pass. I'm just giving an example that I feel like just from a business perspective, they weren't making many decisions that seemed like the ways they tried to monetize the game were baffling to players. Like trying to make, seasonal rewards pass cost money, or rather like Festival of the Lost.
Yeah. The live events, trying to get money out of that.
I think they also could have continued with the loot boxes that they had a little scandal with in Destiny 1. And they just needed to add a guarantee. So if you're trying to get the Flaming Skull box, after you buy 10 or whatever, you get a guaranteed skull.
I'll remember that.
Does anyone remember the Flaming Skull?
That was controversial.
So, but they were like, okay, we'll back away from loot boxes, and that's admirable, but that might have hurt them in the long run because most games do have loot boxes.
Right.
And I think if you do a guarantee that's like, very clear, then it's not, it's not as scamming because, okay, I have this percentage chance of getting it. And if I buy this many, then I can get it.
Yeah.
Because games are expensive. There's just no way around it. They're very expensive to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for some reason, they really have, like, I'm going to go add on something that we've talked about before, but like World of Warcraft or like old school MMORPGs, like 20 years ago, longer than that, older than that, 25 years ago, it was like $10 a month.
Yeah.
And that, scaled up to inflation
there was
right
a
now,
subscription
it could be
cost.
way more.
I was thinking about that.
For some...
I don't know if you guys saw this, but like I think it was Mark Noseworthy actually posted a spreadsheet of making these types of games, like what the cost is, the breakdown of everything. And it's like you have to, it turned out like nowadays you have to sell like 6 or 7 million copies. And to put that in perspective, I think Marathon sold like 1.3 million. So, and so you're talking about these monetization strategies. I think it's like a financial reality to go to a subscription thing because it's all about keeping the shareholders happy and having good numbers at those meetings that they have, and that's really what keeps the game going behind the scenes.
I mean,
for better or for worse.
I agree. When I think about what went into a season, and the dev costs, like for instance, just a salary of the dev cost, that would go into paying for a season of Destiny's worth of content. I think they were losing money on almost every season.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they either needed to cut back on the amount they were giving, because ironically they were over delivering. And I don't think it was appreciated either. So it didn't even.
I totally agree.
It didn't even. I don't think, and I've said this over and over again. I don't think the amount of what they were putting in a season pass was the thing that was selling season passes. I think that a lot of players were going to buy the season pass because they cared about what was next in Destiny, and they could have either had a premium tier of season pass and a normal tier. A lot of games do that. Where you just, if you're going to put more into the season pass, just charge more money for it, and there's an option to pay more money
Yeah,
for it,
because
or put less in the game. Because I think that
well,
they were just,
they
if you think about the amount in it, it was more than $10
they
worth of
because and
content,
that's the thing is that
even in the worst season.
they actually had that tier system, but one was like the free path and one was the tiered system. But it should have been $10 for that free tier and then
No,
20
you
or
should have a
more
free
for
tier.
the
If you're going to be
for the
free to play,
premium
you should
thing.
have I'm saying, like, there's games that I play that have a free tier and then a normal tier and then a premium tier on top of that.
Right. So just
Just
add
add
a
a
higher
tier.
tier
Yeah.
because and then take some of that like higher tier loot. Like, it's just there's something about, and then going back to like talking about Destiny 1, right? Because we've been playing that a little bit, is there's something to be said about the scarcity of really good loot. And it's one
Yes.
thing to say, hey, you're going to go this path and you may get this, and then you do it for 100 times and you never get it. And that can be frustrating. But it's another to say, hey, you're going to get an exotic, but those drops are not it actually is going to be an exotic drop. It's going to be something that will just happen to you randomly. And there'll be some times when you're going through an actual quest line for them, but other times when you're just decrypting an engram at the cryptarch and he just says, whoa, guess what? This legendary just turned into an exotic. And it,
Or
there,
a blue.
or a blue, right?
Yeah.
But the
But there needs to
excitement,
be some variability. Yeah.
but that excitement level that goes on with that is just like, okay, so the loot really did feel like it just for some reason, and maybe it's just because it's been so long that I've done Destiny 1, but it just has this sense of more meaning to it.
No, there's a difference between getting, greens and then blues and then legendary, and then exotics are still very rare. And then now how they want you to play the game is like, do this run of this specific mission and get like 6 different legendaries, and maybe one of those legendaries will be a god roll. And it's a completely different way to interact with loot when you're just going by volume rather than the scarcity. Like, do you know what
Right.
I mean? Like, you're
Yeah.
really right now in Destiny, you're spammed with loot, and you're just supposed to, I guess, just check all of the stats quickly, see if it's a god roll, and then delete. And then you're just a large part of my gameplay is doing that, just
Yeah.
deleting things that I've
Homework. I
gotten
call it
because you're just
homework. There's a lot of homework in the
you're just
game.
you're just
Yeah.
bombarded. And I think that they could they just needed to, I don't know how you do it. And again, maybe it's a vault reset, maybe it's just a way of reworking the entire loot incentive gameplay loop.
I kind
But
of want.
I do think it's a huge issue when I do just a single strike and I'm coming back. I go in with an empty character, and then I come back and it's saying I have to go to the postmaster, and it's like, I did a single. What are you talking about? I
Right.
can't.
And just as an example, we went ghost hunting with another clanmate doing some renegades mission. What are those called, Neil? Those
Ghost hunting?
the frontier, the lawless
Oh,
frontier.
The lawless friend.
Yeah, we were finding all the renegades ghosts because we wanted
We
a
were
stupid
finding the
shader.
renegades
okay.
ghosts, like
You weren't killing
collectibles.
them though.
We
Right?
want the
No,
desert wear
we were
shader.
going to find the collectibles that they've
Yeah, no,
hidden
she's low
Okay.
key
around,
just like a full
right?
dredgen.
So
Yeah.
just throw up a throw on an esoteric video, and he'll tell you where to find them. So type
Yep.
of situation. But that being said, it's like we did that we did 2 or 3 runs, and I had just spent like probably an hour earlier that day cleaning out my vault, and it's like now I'm inundated with a bunch of duplicates and I have to look again at each one of these things, and it's like it shouldn't be when you get on a game, and this is going back to adults who have not that much time. I think that has become part of the play loop that has made it less appealing to me get to wanting to get on, knowing that my first 30 to 40 minutes is going to be dealing with cleaning out all of the stuff that went to my postmaster, or
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
duplicates of this same gun that I got like 20 versions of this sidearm, and I need to decide which one I want to keep.
And I think
And
that the answer to that, you don't, for people who like doing that, like great, have a mode where it's like that is the reward system, that if you do this specific activity, then it gives you 6 weapons at the end of this type of weapon. Like for people who want to focus farm, I feel like they could add that in the game, but for the whole game to be that, it does make the loot feel a lot less
that's
special, and they have
what
completely devalued
that's
almost
what
everything.
that's what the portal should be, is that focus farming
Okay, I think
Mhm.
there's
and
a
nothing
limit to
else.
that, though. There's a limit to that because if you talk to Richard, I know he has had a lot of pain points in like doing a dungeon 50 runs and it not dropping. Like the 2 to 4% drop stuff is ridiculous. You have to
Well, I
have
think
a
I think
safety net.
glass needles should be a thing. Maybe guarantees you bring back with like the Grandmaster Nightfall, so it's just like a weekly guarantee. Or like
Mhm.
he said with the
Right.
dungeon, maybe your first run of the featured dungeon gives you some kind of
Or if you
guarantee.
do 50 runs, you're guaranteed to get it on that 50th run.
Yeah,
For
they
the
tried doing that a little later with the raids, like the raid exotics, with like
right.
if you complete challenges.
Yeah.
Well, but I
It
do
was
agree
very
with you.
convoluted, and
Exotics aren't exotic anymore. Legendaries aren't legendary anymore. Tier
There's
5's
another
not tier 5 anymore. I mean, it's just yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to jump in with something because there's another factor that we've been talking about, how exhausting it is to look at the loot that you get. But and this idea isn't mine. Again, this came from another video where somebody else said that the loot doesn't matter because of ability power creep.
that's true as well. Because like I think it was in the context of saying it used to be like really exciting to get a Fate Bringer, and now there's almost no weapon in the game that would have the same impact as Fate Bringer because of your abilities.
Yeah. I did want
So,
to get Richard's take since I know he plays a few free to play games, such as like First Descendant and Warframe. He's played. Could Destiny be a free to play game? Destiny 3, do you think, Richard?
I think making Destiny 2 free to play was a mistake
Why?
because of what it's up to now.
Well, I think that the problem with making Destiny 2 free to play is they made it free to play and then didn't do anything to catch new players that would try it because it's free. And that's the only reason to make
The
it free to
game would have
play.
made no sense
They
because they removed the starting point of the game as well.
mhm.
Yeah, so they did say that they were working on a new light experience. That project either failed internally or the budget on it got cut or something. I don't know. I try to give the devs the benefit of the doubt. I try not to blame them. I don't know what happened internally, but the new light experience just was not what was promised when they went free to play.
Right. That it was poorly
So that
executed.
Yeah, it was poorly executed. And when you say that you're free to play, but they come in and say, "Oh, you're free to play, but you don't have access to any of the story." Most free to play games, I think Richard can back me up, the story is free.
Right, and
Yeah, like
everything else is what
speaking
you
from what
pay
Neil
This-
said
pay
about
for.
Warframe of First Ascendant is everything on those games since it's been free is free apart from the battle pass and like skins. That's all they've got that
Yeah,
you've
the
got to pay
micro,
for.
that's how yeah, because I play quite a bit of free to play games too, and everything is free. You don't have to pay anything in those games to get the full experience of the game, story wise or mechanics wise. they have monetized in other ways. So I think saying that
It's a
we're
good
free to
model.
play, but the store, yes, because it gets you attached to the characters
gets
and
you
attached
hooked
to the
in.
world, and it makes you want it. It makes it a world you want to spend time in.
And eventually spend money in, like even after playing a
Exactly,
few years,
exactly.
you're like,
So
you know what? I've gotten endless hours of entertainment from this. I'm gonna splurge, and
exactly, and I have in those games.
exactly right, because you support the
I
And
game.
literally
it's
use
like
that as an
it's like I pay $60 for a game. This game has given me hours, hundreds of hours of enjoyment. Why
Right.
wouldn't I spend like
Right.
$10, $20?
Right.
Of course. So with Destiny, I think some people thought like, well, there were some people who were like, I'm going to buy the season pass because I like tuning in every week for the new story. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes they could have had, is locking the story behind the season pass, because yes, it cost a lot to make, but I think that was their hook on getting players invested. And it could have brought in a lot of players that wouldn't have
Like,
otherwise
it would have
bought.
been free, and then people would have been happy to spend.
Yes, exactly. I fully believe that. I don't think they were generous enough with the free to play experience for it to be worthwhile. I think they, and you could have said like, no, like maybe Destiny shouldn't have been free to play. And I think it's either, if they were going to do what they did, they probably shouldn't have bothered making it free to play. Because if anything, it kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth when you try a game and the whole time it's saying, buy this expansion, buy this expansion, buy this expansion. It's like,
right.
am I playing it, or am I playing a mobile game? Like that kind of feels like an ad. Like I'm just getting inundated with ads at that point. So I think that they made a mistake being a little bit too
Yeah, and it may not have been a
stingy
problem, 10 or
their
15
content.
years ago, but man, you've got your studio in one of the most expensive places in the world, like Seattle is so
Not to
expensive.
mention the new H2 that they
Oh,
recently.
Like on Destiny 1, we didn't have any battle passes.
Yes, it was.
Right.
It was just
So
story
because it
and
was a
DLCs.
completely different. Yeah, and they could have stuck with that model, but they for sure were struggling in a sense that they did need to find a way to make more money. And going to a full live service game probably did make more money. They just weren't able to evolve with that model quickly enough.
So going forward, let's enough of what went wrong and what's gonna go right. I am optimistic by nature. So that doesn't mean I think the petition or everybody logging in on Tuesday will make a difference to Sony or Bungie even. But I do feel like Destiny is not going anywhere. Somebody's going to pick up this IP, whether it's to put out Destiny Classic, doing a reboot of a remastering of bringing Destiny 1 to Steam and 60 FPS and wide field view with a bunch of extra goodies. We've seen that happen to, many games over the years get that remastered version. And what was the one, not Skyrim, the one before Skyrim just got rebooted?
Oblivion.
Oblivion had a really good success. A lot of people downloaded.
Yeah, I never played the original, but I played that one, and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
That was shadowed, right? They just like came out with it. Like nobody
Shadow Drop,
knew
yeah.
it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Shadow Drop, yep.
That was Shadow Drop. So I feel like that's going to happen eventually. I mean, hopefully within my lifetime. But somebody's going to pick it up. I mean, there's also Destiny Rising, I think, has a lot of potential to hold me over for a lot of people who love the Destiny universe.
I think Destiny Rising, I would do very well if they launched on console right now.
That's what they need to do, launch on console and PC and get it out of
that. If they
that.
launch on console this fall, or that would be very good timing for them.
Hasn't that been done with your gacha games like Honkai and stuff? It all went to console.
Yeah.
And PC even. So
And I think it's a NetEase game. NetEase definitely has done console games.
Yeah,
So there's definitely a possibility.
So that's where I think the petition and the and killing the servers on Tuesday will help. Other people are watching it, not just Sony, not just Bungie.
Not just Sony.
Right. And all the Sony X devs are all about it, which is also encouraging too, you know. Not just the voice actors, but actual people who worked on Destiny.
It is a beloved franchise.
It really is. It's nice to see this outpouring
and it has a
of support.
very loyal fan base.
And I thought it was going to fizzle, and this has been over a week of just nonstop campaigning, and
I thought it was kind of cute the way they blasted the Sony event.
Yeah,
it's just like spammed the chat.
They did it with an Xbox Expo as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they're doing it on any channel they can.
They've got the Xbox show.
They have nowhere else to go, so they got to go somewhere.
As to Cross's army.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
They've also got the showcase, which starts in 34 minutes as well, the Xbox one.
Yeah. I think they're going to definitely go in there. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. So, I kind of got to wrap this up.
I'm with you that I do think there's hope. And if it doesn't, I would love it to be a Bungie game still. I don't think Halo is the same since it left Bungie, though it has lived on.
I know.
But I do believe in
never the same.
I do believe in Destiny, and I do believe, anything can happen. And I wouldn't discount like movements like this. I think that execs really overcount social media sometimes, so it doesn't hurt that this is loud on social media.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So going forward, what are you looking forward to next Tuesday and beyond? Anything catch your eye and all the updates that are coming?
I'm excited about the new class abilities.
Yeah, I was looking
maybe
at
the
those.
dungeon having updated roles on the weapons and armor.
Because Richard's a dungeon master. He likes to go into the dungeons, and I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, Richard can finally have some decent loot for going into the dungeons. I am going to play the hell.
I don't know how long I've been after a storm chaser from Duality, but it's been long.
Right, there's so many of those exotics I don't have from the dungeons that I would be interested in doing runs with you guys.
They're all getting catalysts.
Yep.
Yeah, the new catalysts are exciting.
One thing
Exotic
you don't want on this
catalysts.
game is a tax collector.
Bastion's gonna get a catalyst.
I'm just playing Crimson Desert and the tax collector's coming for me.
Oh, I was like, what? There's no tax collector in Destiny. He left me speechless. I was like, well, I haven't played in a while.
Yeah,
so
like, what the heck?
I don't know.
I've been avoiding the tax in this game.
I mean, I think that it'll be nice to have like a few new things to play around with the new abilities. I'm kind of excited that the hunter has a new void melee, because
the void melee looks so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just something different because it seems like it's always just been the smoke bomb, and it's kind of fun to have something
really
else.
Annoying how they're adding all this stuff now.
Yeah,
I know.
it's bittersweet, but it does. I mean, and it's funny because I keep bringing this up, that the game's not going away, right? Like, we've been able to get back on Destiny 1 and really enjoy it. And that just shows that this is all, it's like they're saying it's not going away. It will be there. So it's like they're adding all of this stuff, and you can take it at a very casual level, and you could enjoy this for the next year or so and really just soak it all in and enjoy the game. With all the new stuff that they're adding. But also, like, I was as well, I'm not necessarily an what's the word I'm looking for? Like the achievements or any of those types of things.
Triumphs, yeah.
But there's so much of because some of those triumphs are like related to doing really well in certain areas of the game that I'm not just that's not the type of player I am. But like there are like collectibles and other things like that that are certainly things that I haven't done, like even from the beginning. So at least like Witch Queen on the parts of the game that I can access, I'm looking forward to going back and finishing up, tying up some loose ends.
Yeah, that's the advantage
Oh,
of
for
being
sure.
a
We
casual gamer.
we didn't do everything in final shape yet, even, and we
Right.
we as a
We
team
still we've
haven't done the latest
right
raid.
we've still we haven't finished.
We
Well,
haven't
we
done a
haven't.
couple
We've got a
things.
raid.
I haven't
We've
even
got a
touched
raid
a
to
dungeon,
finish and a
right?
raid to tackle.
Yes,
I'm going to
we never
spam
finished
Equilibrium to
over
get the
that.
Dark Crystal for the Praxic Blade. That's what I want
That
to
Dark
do.
Crystal can be
we think
removed
we
from the game for all I care.
Desert Perpetual?
What? That's a hard one, isn't it? Too hard.
That's
I
the
think-
newest one.
Yeah,
No,
Richard, have you
it's
done it
not.
with an
I
LFG group?
would.
No.
Mm.
All right, we'll go in. We'll go in blind.
you'd be
We'll
able to
figure out every
find one till
puzzle on our
Tuesday.
own.
Go in blind. Go in blind.
Yep.
I'm thinking it's gonna. It seems hard, and it probably is. But I think that people have come up with really good strategies that where we would be able
Well,
to
strategies we
follow
will
them.
not be using because
Strategies
we're gonna
being
figure it all on
everything's okay,
our
catalyst.
own.
Right.
I mean, we have now until the rest of eternity to figure it out, so we can
That's
just.
kind of what I was saying. So what I'm looking forward to is, hey, like this game is like that other, like the movie or the series that you go back and rewatch because it makes you feel good. And this game hopefully will scratch that itch
And hopefully
and
they
do
leave
that
it in a good place.
Yeah.
for us.
It looks like they're going to leave it in a
sounding
good
like
place.
it will. It's sounding like it will.
Yeah.
And,
I was a
and
little
that they're
disappointed.
adding all of this
Salliebug.
other stuff.
Oh,
I was a little disappointed about the trailer. Have you guys seen the trailer yet?
yeah.
Or the update.
What's wrong with it?
No, I haven't.
I was really hoping, like, for the new abilities
avoiding
that
it.
they would have gotten one last time David Samuel to do the sound effects. And
Just for old time's sake.
Yeah, for
They
old
got a
lang
shadow
syne.
drop of Vidoc on Tuesday.
That would be great.
He added everything but self-res.
Who knows if he's still working there,
Oh my God.
right?
Last we saw him, he was. I think he was with Renegades.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely
I
was,
think you're
but I
right.
don't know. Yeah, it's hard to
doing
know.
the sound of the Praxic Blade.
No,
I'm similar
what is everyone's predictions for June 9th? How do you think we'll do numbers wise?
I think
Do you think the community's gonna show
let's
up?
be honest. Every big release that Bungie has done, it's errors galore. You won't be able to get on.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of what we're hoping for. We're hoping for that.
They have assured us there's not going to be any problems, which means there for sure will be many problems.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be a lot of people. I mean, at least
I hope we break the servers. We gotta turn out.
Right.
This is our last chance to really show support for this game.
Yeah, between
of
the
outcomes.
petition that's floating out there, the spamming of other showcases and state of game plays and all of that, like going to say, hey, there is a very strong loyal fan base that will show up for this game. So just keep that in mind, even if it's not in right now, like the game, the the company itself is not in a very good state, don't discount it. Maybe once you straighten the ship a little bit,
I mean, I am
that
interested to
you'll
see. I would love to be a fly on the wall to see Sony's reaction to Marathon Season 2 launch versus this June 9th update, though.
yeah.
Like, not to pit us against each other, because I really do hope Marathon can. Like, there's been plenty of games who have turned around a rocky start.
But it's
So
again,
their
it's not
story's
us
not over.
pitting
But
Destiny
it
2
does.
versus Marathon.
It's really Sony, because they have come out and said we want to keep supporting this game, but not this game.
Yeah,
Right.
that is
Even though from an
That's
outsider's
going to be time for our
perspective-
next podcast. We'll have to talk about the Marathon versus Destiny wars that are going on.
Right.
But just an update: 24 minutes and 57 seconds until the Xbox showcase, in which it'll be a takeover by D3. We want D3 people, I'm sure.
So,
Activision.
I
win.
think one of the things that we should talk about.
That would be crazy if Activision bought the rights to franchise.
Yeah, before we hang our hats.
They like to buy stuff.
Before we hang our
Microsoft owns
hats.
Activision.
Exactly. They don't have a problem buying stuff.
Sorry, sorry, Salliebug. What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying before we hang our hats on this episode, we should kind of talk about what the Paracasual podcast future looks like, because we've talked about.
We're gonna say that on air
potentially.
We can't say that on air. We can't give away all of our secrets.
We're gonna have a business meeting on a board meeting on air.
Well,
all right. Well, I want my shares dissolved. I'm liquidating my shares.
We came back on because this was, this has been a very news heavy couple of weeks for Destiny, and it was our love of this game that brought us together. But I would love to feel like our podcast will continue regardless of Destiny's state. That's kind of where
Guardian Con is continuing. It started as a Destiny.
Well, it's not Guardian Con anymore. It's GCX,
right? Yeah.
Okay, I just put up on the screen. They're already starting with the "We Want D3" in the chat on the Xbox showcase.
Good.
Yeah.
They're doing it looks like GCX is doing a really lovely tribute to the game that brought them all together. So that's really cool. And Stego and RomanceGirl, maybe the three of us can watch it together because it's around the same time I'm coming to visit you. So.
Oh yeah, of course.
That'll be nice.
They're gonna put it. I didn't know they were gonna stream it.
I think some of it, isn't it? I don't know how they've done. I feel like they have in the past. I don't know. I could be wrong.
We'll see. We'll keep our ears to the ground with that one.
Yeah.
Because yes, it is definitely a summer of celebrating this franchise, and I'm with Sooltime that there has to be a future for it, because it's just too. It really, in a way, got bigger than Bungie, and I think Astrocross said that Destiny just really got bigger than Bungie, and historically, when something gets bigger than them, they want to give it away and move on to something else.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Look at all of that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, folks. It was good talking to you guys again.
Figure it out.
Let's wrap it up.
It is. This will not be the last you hear of me.
Yeah, it won't be the last you hear of the podcast.
It's not the end of Destiny, and it's not the end of our podcast.
Now that the educator obligations are going to be on pause for a couple of months, maybe we can do this a few more times, I'm hoping.
Yeah,
well,
that would be fun.
There's room to talk about like how we're experiencing Destiny, and
we can definitely negotiate our contract.
Well,
for another
you notice it's no longer the Paracasual Destiny podcast. I mean, obviously we're talking about Destiny today because of what's going on. But it is no longer the Paracasual Destiny podcast. It's just the Paracasual podcast. So we'll get to hear Richard tell us all about Crimson Desert next time, maybe.
Yep.
Or probably next
Yes,
time's going to
we're
be mostly
looking forward
Destiny
to
again.
the-
Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But it's, casual all the way. All right.
Yep.
Everybody have a good day. And I'm going to roll credits.
Have a good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Paracasual Podcast, episode 71. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to go to the links in the description. Check it out.